Okay, so I have decided that I'm going to teach for free. I'm going to do the teaching for free, everything you need to know. But then the advantage of those that have already paid that are in the VIP group is this program that we're about to start, which is something we're going to be trading together live here, are only going to be for those in the VIP group, right? So if you're not in the VIP group, you cannot join the program. You cannot join us in this whole thing. And this is exactly what we want to do. And again, we're going to probably start on Tuesday or Wednesday. So that's when we're going to start. All right. So this is how I'm going to actually trade it. Again, we're going to be going through here. I'm going to show you how I do my analysis from here. And with that, I'll be teaching you how it's done. So I'm going to be using one stone to kill multiple bets. All right. So that's what I'm going to do. So, um, so let's get started. Again, I'm going to be going to the toss stroke no toss strategy. This is the toss stroke no toss we're going to be using. And then for this first strategy I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to be using the 2 minute duration, right? I'm going to be using the 2 minute duration. Now, the 2 minute duration is highly profitable. Guys, please, if you can hear me, just say something in the chat so I know we are following me. You can see my screen and you can hear me properly. Just say yes in the chat here so I can continue. All right, all right, all right. Okay. So, and again, one thing to for me to continue this thing like this because I want everyone to benefit from this. Trust me, it's not about the money for me, but I want a lot of people to benefit. I have so many people in my DM right now that really want to learn, but they actually do not have the money. And trust me, with this trading method that I'm about to show you, you could literally start with $10, $5, any amount. And you can do the same thing I'm doing and make good profits. All right. So this is what I want to do. Now, before I say all that, what will make me continue, and I'm going to repeat this, what will make me continue with the whole process and the whole group and everything is I want to see uh I want to see people participate. So after the live section, we should talk about what we've learned in the WhatsApp group. I'm going to open the WhatsApp group. And then if people are not really participating, I'm not going to be motivated to want to continue with the teaching like this. I will just focus on those in the VIP group. So if you know you don't have the money to pay for the VIP group and you want this to continue what I'm going to be doing starting today, all you just need to do is participate and drop your review, your comments in the WhatsApp group, all right? So it's going to encourage more people to join us, and then we can have more interesting sections like this. All right, so let's get started. Now, whatever amount you want to start with, let's say I have $100 total in my equity. That is what I have, $100, right? I have $100, right? And I want to trade with this $100 using this 2 minute strategy. Again, we are going to be trading with everything. We're going to start with the 2 minute strategy, then we're going to go to the 1 hour strategy, then day strategy. Now you are going to see how easy it becomes, right? But then the 2 minute strategy is highly profitable, it's fast, and then you can see a lot of profit very fast. Now, this is how we're going to be doing. Let's say now I'm also going to be talking about the money management aspect of this. So let's say I have $100 or $1,000 or $10, whatever you have, divided by 10. So if I have $100 like this, I'm going to divide it by 10. That means I'm going to have $10. So I'm going to probably move this to another wallet. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that. Even for the demo account here, you can do that. But then let's go to the compound interest. This is what I want to do with the compound interest. Say I have $100. I'm going to take $10 out of the $100 and I'm going to trade with that $10. Now, I'm going to only do this for 4 days. I'm going to be taking 4 trades per day for 4 days on the volatility on touch stroke no touch, targeting 19% per trade, 18 to 19% per trade. So if I'm doing that, 18 to 19%, let's say I'm targeting 19% approximately for and I'm taking 4 trades every day. And I'm going to show you, we're going to start with here. I'm going to start taking trades here. We're going to see how exactly it's done. So if I use $10, I take 4 trades. That means I'm making $10 profit. That's around 100% profit. All right, 100% profit. Hold on, guys, 1 minute. All right, let's continue. So that means I am making 100% with 4 trades. Note, I'm not saying that the first time you try this, you're going to be able to get it. Trust me. Even me myself make mistakes sometimes, but the chances of doing this successfully is really large. That's why we are using the proper money management, which is dividing by 10. So if I happen to lose my equity, maybe my $10 or whatever along the line, I will do it again with another $10, all right? And I'll try again with another $10. There is no way you're going to do this following everything I'm going to be showing you starting today that you will not get it along the line. So let's say I start with $10, right? $10, 90% for 100%. So that means I'm doing 100% per day. And I always want to do this for 4 days for this method, 4 days. And that 4 days, I'm going to be making $150 in total profits. Right. So how does this work? So let's say I have $1,000, which is what we are going to be doing. Because for this program we're about to start, we want a total of $1,000 equity, which I'm going to be trading here and everybody's going to see. We're going to be starting with $100. I mean, $100. Do this for 4 days, $100, 100% 4 days. That's going to give us what? $1,500, right? $1,500. Right. So whatever our total equity becomes, we are going to divide it by 10 again. Right. Let me bring out my calculator here. Let me show you guys how this is going to work. And that's what we're going to be doing. Uh, Hold on. So let's say we're able to get it the first time we try it. So we're going to be having 2,500, right? $2,500. Then it's going to be divided by 10, which is $250. So we're going to be doing this again with 250. Then look at what that's going to give us. 3,000, 3,000, 750. And then we're going to take total equity again divided by 10. And we're going to do that for like 2 weeks. And then it's going to give us crazy return. Right, crazy return. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to get, even me myself. See, of course, I can do this perfectly well, very well, but I'm not saying you're going to always get it the first time around. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. So this is how I basically do my analysis, all right? I go to touch, set it to 2 minutes, like this. Where's my phone there? All right. To 2 minutes. Guys, please listen attentively here. To 2 minutes. Hold on. Let me bring out my note here. Okay. And then I'm going to trade on all of this volatility index. So I'm going to go to volatility 10, 1x index. That's where I'm going to start my analysis from. And I'm going to change this to 1 minute candlestick. All right. Let's get started. Now, let's say I have $1,000 and I'm starting with $100. So this is $100 that I have here. I've already divided by 10, so I have $100 here. Right. So how do I do? I'm going to be using the total $100 like this. Right. You can literally basically do this start this with $1 even. If you have a total of $10, you can start this with $1. And then look at what that's going to give you. You start this with $1. 4 days, it gives you $15 divided by 10. That is, so I think that would be 2.5. 2.5. You see, just keep doing it like that. You could literally do this with any equity. All right. So let's continue here. All right. So I've turned this to 1 minute. So we'll then go do our analysis. Guys, it is not complicated. It's just basically what I've taught us so far. You don't really have to do a lot of analysis and everything. So let's get that. And I'm going to be explaining as we go, as we uh progress. All right, so again, because I'm doing this with the 1 minute 2 minute duration, I don't have to go down into all this 1 hour, 4 hour, 24 hours time frame. I like to start with a 15-minute time frame. And what do I like to do? I like to see what is happening in this market. As you can see, we have what our lower low, lower high, lower low like this, lower high, lower low, lower high. We have lower low, lower high, lower low. This is a lower high, and then we're beginning to have what? A lower low here. So that's what we're currently having. So we see here where the market is currently at is still going to go down for a bit there. It's still going to go down a bit there. But then I want to be really sure. I'm going to go down to the 5 minute time frame like this. And then look at what I'm seeing on the 5 minutes. Of course, now this is one thing that is very important. Now, of course, we still feel it's going to go up, but where the market currently is right here, where the market currently is right here is not this place that the market is not It's not doing exactly what I want it to do. It's not, I see, you only want to be trading, you only want to be trading in a market that is doing, hold on, let me try and bring out this. Mm, okay. Now you only want to be trading in a market like this. When it's going in a particular direction like this, right? That's where you want to be trading. Something like is going like this. You don't want to be trading in an instance where the market is ranging like this. It's not going in a particular direction. That's a very wrong time to trade. So that's why I won't be taking any trade here, even if it's going in a particular direction, even if it's doing what I want to do at that moment. So I'm not going to be doing that. So I'm just probably going to wait for this to do whatever it wants to do. So what I'm thinking this market wants to do is, do a little bit of research before coming down. And again, we have a lot of other markets to look at. So we are not going to be religious about one market, or we're not going to just stick to one. All right. So we're just going to check if this one is not really doing what we want it to do. We're just going to check another, right? We want a very clear market. As you can see, it's temporarily going up, right? Which is something I personally can trade, but I will not advise you to do. It's temporarily going up, but then I will not do that. I want to teach you guys what you should really, really follow. All right. I don't follow things like that. All right. So you want to follow the trend of the market. All right. So we are going to check another market. That is, we're going to check volatility 10 index. I'm going to go to volatility 10 index, start my analysis from the 15-minute time frame here again, and I look at what is happening here on the 15-minute time frame. I always like to draw my path, and you don't need to go as far back. Just go to the what's happening recently. As you can see, I have a lower low here, lower high. We have what? Lower low, and then we have break of uh a change of character here, but then it did not, continue, and then we had this lower low here. But then what I'm expecting, what is really, really going to happen is this market is going to come up, at least do something like this before it goes down, or give us a change of character breaking through this level here. And we're still going to be talking more about change of character and all the stuffs. But currently here, this market is currently going up. It's something I can actually trade because it's actually going up. And then we're still going to be talking about point of interest like fair value gap and all. I like to mark out my point of interest, which is something like this. I'm going to take a day to teach that properly. So there's my point of interest. So the market is at least going to get to this level before it start going down or keep going up. So it's a perfect opportunity to actually trade in this market. But that's not the only thing we're going to look at. We're then going to go here, go to volatility 10 index like this. And then one thing you should always notice, look at all this. Of course, I'm going to be on the 1 minute here. On the 1 minute, you want to make sure that these candlesticks are long. They are not short. Look at this one. It's very short. It's short, short. You want to make sure that they are long. If it's not long, that if they are not moving, as in they are not moving well, they are moving too slow. You don't want to be trading in that kind of market. You don't want to be trading in a market that is moving very slow. This one now is a good one, but it's moving very slow. That volatility 10 that we left is actually moving very well, but we cannot trade this. It's not following our criteria. So I'm just going to check another one. Look at this, is really doing very nice, but then it's moving too slow. It's moving too slow, as you can see. So we're going to ignore that. And then we're going to check another market, volatility 25 1x index. Please, guys, are you following me, please? Are you following me? Please let us reply. Are we following? Now, what I'm seeing here, all right? Again, note, I just want to take 4 trades in a day, right? I just want to take 4 trades. So you don't have to panic. You don't have to be in a rush. And I'm going to show you how easy it is. All right. So look at here now. I have from here, the market moves from here to give us what, this high, and then give us this higher low, and then give us this one, and then change of character to the downside, and then give us this. Of course, you don't have to worry too much about what the market is doing. Just know the direction it wants to go at that particular time, and then it's currently doing this. So what I'm seeing here is this market probably wants to continue its uptrend, but then of course their point of interest is still going to come down a bit. That places it still needs to get to down here. Of course, I'm concerned about the small movement. So this is my point of interest here. We're still going to be talking about other blocks very soon. I have 2 point of interest that the market could literally come back to before it start going up. All right. But then look at what is happening here. I'm going to go down to the 5 minutes. Going down to the 5 minutes, you see that the market is ranging at this place. It's currently ranging at this place. So I don't want to trade when the market is ranging. But then let me see if I can, because of this candle here, let me see if I can get an opportunity to enter that trade. 25 1x. So I'm going to just check this out on 25 1x index. And as you can see, it's not really doing what I want it to do, of course. If it wants to go down, you want to make sure that the market is going in a particular direction. It is trending, all right? It is trending because uh you really need to have a perfect entry for this. All right, so let's check. Of course, we are still going to come back to check all these markets. We're just still, as you can see, I'm doing my analysis and I'm just leaving them and coming back to them. All right, and then we can see that this market could potentially, right, on the 5 minutes, we are seeing something like this: higher high, higher low, higher high. So something like this might probably want to happen here, like this might probably want to happen. So I'm still kind of checking this out and see if it's going to continue going up, right? But then before I am going to continue or consider this going up is if it breaks through that level right there to the upside. All right, but then it's something I can actually check out or consider. As you can see, it's going up. I can actually look for an opportunity to take a trade here. I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to come back to this. Now, if there's another thing I usually do, if I want to, if I'm looking at a market that I'm going to come back to, I'm just going to start this one to show that I'm going to come back to this market. It's something I'm interested in. All right, so I'm going to just come back to there, to that. So let's see another market. Let's go to volatility. Of course, there are 10 of them, so you don't have to be so religious about anyone. Again, you are just taking 4 trades in a day, so you don't have to, work yourself out for anyone. So let's go down to the 15-minute time frame again. See what is really happening here. As you can see, this one is an uptrend, and as you can see here, we have higher high, higher low, and then we have a higher high like this. All right, so that's what we're seeing here. But then I'm going to go down to the 5 minutes to see, have a clearer vision of what is really happening here. As you can see, I can see something like this here. Starting from here, we have a higher high, higher low, and then this is not higher high because it did not break this structure here. All right, so don't think this one is higher high. No, this one here is the higher high here, like this. All right, so that's the higher high. So we're expecting something like this to happen, and then currently, of course, this market could potentially still go up even more, but then again, I want to follow this trend on the smaller time frame. All right, so I'm just going to check this out, 25 index. I'm going to check this out on of course, I'm going to check volatility 25 index. All right, oh, it's going up. So we can actually trade this to the upside. So I'm going to just change this to 100 total equity. Remember, I'll explain that how we're going to do. And something interesting is happening on 25 index there, 25 1x there. I'm going to quickly check 25 1x here. Okay, as you can see, it's beginning to go down. As you can see, it's beginning to go down. So we can actually see if we can have an opportunity to trade. There, as you can see, it's started resuming its downtrend. So ahead, something I really want to talk about is barrier. Now, look at this. We want to target 19%. I said 19%, we're taking 4 trades. So I'm going to change the value for this barrier. I'm going to give us the value later on. I already had that in my notes here. So here I'm going to have minus 55 because I want to put the barrier to the downside. As you can see, the barrier has come to the downside. I just want this to give me a push to the downside, and it's not doing that. So I'm just going to really still go back and check my 25 index and see what is happening here on 25 index. Okay, let's go back to 25 index. The market is actually not stable tonight. I probably should have seen an entry right there, but the market is not really good tonight. Now look at 25 index. It's doing something very interesting. Now for me to take a trade, right? For me to take a trade, look, this 25 index. No, before I talk about that, let's actually see a trade we can actually take. All right, so I'm not seeing any trade I can actually take. This one, I'm expecting this one to still go up or maybe go down. It depends. So we're just going to see what's going to happen here. Again, I want to trade on the smaller, like I'm looking for the small push. So I'm not really concerned about the overall movement of the market. All right, so let's see what is happening on the 51x index. Okay, look at this one here. Now, look at this one is nice because it's actually moving very fast, very good to the upside. We've had what? A we've had a change of character here. As you can see, we had something like this. No, let me do this properly. We had lower low, lower high, and then instead of this to give us a lower low, give us this, give us a change of character, and then this turns to an uptrend, higher high, higher low. So we're expecting what? A higher high like this. All right, so this is a very interesting one here. So I'm just going to go to see what is happening there on volatility 1x index. Volatility 1x index. Okay, so this is not bad at all. So let's see if we are going to get an opportunity to enter a trade here. Of course, you should always remember to change the barrier. The barrier here is going to be 39, 39. 19%. All right. So let's see. Now, for me to take a trade, I have to wait for a new candle to start. This is a 1 minute time frame. The previous one has to be a green. The next one has to give us a green push to the upside. Now, this one is not a very good one I would take, but then let's see if I'm going to get an opportunity to take it. Now, you're going to be patient. Look at this candle. You have to wait for it to give you a green push, a good one at that. And then, of course, the previous one has to be a green like this. This is the previous one. It was a green, so I'm going to just chill for it. Now, there's another strategy that I'm going to be showing us, which is using indicator, right? And we are going to be using indicator to do that. But then I'm going to show us that after this one. So I'm going to take the trade. This is not a very good one because this candle is not moving too well. So I just had to take that trade. But then, as you can see, we have won that trade. As you can see, our balance is now 120. Now you just need to take 4 trades like this every day. 4 trades like this every day. With $100 like this, I just need to take 4 trades like this every day. For 4 days, I'm going to turn $100 into $1,500. Very easy. Again, I'm going to be showing you us a much more easier strategy using indicators, moving average to be precise. I'm going to change this balance again to 120. Okay, let's see if we can take another trade here. Now, again, if you have seen too much green candle, look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't again. One thing usually happens in the all this market. Look at, let me show you guys an example. So you have to be very, very careful when you've seen so many green candles like this. You have to be very, very careful, right? I can actually still take this trade, but I'm going to be very careful because you get exhausted. Look at an example here. Look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have at least it's going to retest a little, right? You are going to see green, green, green. You don't want to be caught up in that kind of situation. As you can see, look at this candle here, this one here. If you're not careful, you would have entered this trade and then look at what is happening. You might actually lose this trade. All right. So you have to be very careful. When you've seen like at least 5 or 6 4, 5, 6 green candles, you don't want to be trading to the upside. You want a little bit of retest to the downside before it continues going to the upside. And sometimes the market would really go up like that, but then you have to be patient. You have 10 markets. You don't have to, be stuck to one. All right, so let's see. And again, on Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to be trading with real accounts live. We're going to be trading with real accounts. We're going to be trading live like this. We're going to see how we're going to be turning small account size into large account size while I'm explaining like this. All right, so let's see another market here. Again, I just want to take 4 trades. Okay, let's go to 50 index here. Now, this one is not good at all because it's not really doing anything. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this one. Now, this is a perfect place to have taken this trade. Look at this. You would have made a lot of money from this move here. So these are the kind of moves you're looking for, you're looking at. All right, so let's leave this one. You cannot catch every sweet moves in the market. You're going to win some and miss some. Now look at this one too. It's not really doing exactly what I want. So I'm just going to not waste time on that. I can now, because I have so many experience with this, I can literally just open a market and see if it's a good one or not. Now look at this one here. Look at this one. Let me quickly do analysis on this one. Look at this one here. We have what? Higher high, higher low, higher high. We just have what? Our higher low, and then we're expecting what to see what? A higher high. That's what we're expecting to see here. But then I'm just going to be patient with this too and see what is really going to happen. So let me just drag or draw this so I'll have an idea of what I'm expecting. So this is what I'm expecting in this market here. So we're expecting to see this pushback and then we're going to wait for it. right? So it's currently at what a point of interest. So, but we're not going to be trading around this place at all. So let's check. No, let's go back. What I usually do is I like to go back to the ones I've checked, so I'm not going to miss out on any good opportunity. Now look at this one. We've missed out on this, as you can see. We've missed out on this move. Look at this. We've just missed out on this. And this would have made us a real good money. This would have made us real good money. All right. So so let's continue here. It's really painful. I would have taken all my 4 trades on this move, right? So that's why you always need to go back and check. You always need to go back and check. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm going to try and put eyes on this one and see. So I won't miss out on that again. So let's check volatility 10. See what is happening here. Nothing interesting is happening on volatility 10 yet. So let's check 25 1x. Okay, look at this one. It's already doing, no, it has broken through that level I said it should break through. It's already doing what we anticipate it's going to do. So let's check volatility 25 1x. We have actually missed out. Look at this. We've missed out on a lot. Now, I usually don't miss out on a lot like this. It's because I'm actually explaining and trading at the same time. That's why. So I usually am very fast with checking and all that. I'm usually very, very fast. All right. So we cannot trade here. We're just going to wait for a little bit of retest here. And then what are we looking for here? I'm looking for coming. Yeah, that's my point of interest. I'm going to call this to retest to around this level before I continue taking in the trade on there. All right, so we've taken just one trade. All right, let's see. Let's go to 25 1x. Nothing interesting happening here too. The market is very, very terrible this evening. Very terrible. Very terrible. They're all very terrible this evening. Okay. 51x is interesting. This one too is interesting, but at least the 50, as you can see, we're expecting this to go up. So we're going to check volatility 50 index. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can take a trade here. Remember, the criteria for taking a trade, the previous one has to be a green, and then the next one is what we're waiting for. All right, so I'm going to change the barrier offset. Don't forget to do that. For 50, we have 0.016. So we're waiting for, I'm always checking the seconds, the time here. So waiting for the next candle to start. It has started. I'm waiting for that push, the upside, a really good push, right? You have to be patient with that push. You want to actually see the push. The first market might really want to, trick you, give you a small push. You think it's perfect to enter, it's a wrong one, start going down from there. So I'm always going to see a push that I'm really, really satisfied with. Okay, I've seen that, and I'm going to take that trade, all right? I'm going to take that trade like that. So, okay, we've won this one too. So I've taken 2 trades out of 4 for today. All right, so this is how I do this exactly. So the next one we're going to be doing is we're going to change this to 142. 142. Let's see if we can take another trade here. But then we have to actually check here to see that there is no obstacle. Of course, there is no obstacle for this. It's still going to go up. The point of interest here, where the markets could actually start pushing this a bit or slowing down, is around there. So let's see if we can actually take another trade here. We're waiting for a good push. Trust me. Again, look at this. How many candles have we seen here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have to be very careful. All right, you have to be very careful around here. I'm always very careful when I've seen multiple green candles. I always like to see a pushback after multiple candles like that. This is a very nice one to take, but I'm a bit skeptical to take this one. You see, I would have taken that trade and I would have won that. But I'm always very skeptical when I've had multiple, see, I would have won this. When I've had multiple candles like that. All right, let me even unmute us a bit. How to know the barrier, please. All right, I'm going to be giving us, oh, damn, I missed this trade. It's so annoying when you miss trades like that. I'm going to allow, you can unmute yourself now if you want to ask questions. I don't want to just keep you guys in the dark. So let's see if I can actually take another trade. This one is very risky now, but then let's see. See how fast it is. And see, guys, trust me, the success rate with this is very high. But I'm always very careful. Guys, let me tell you one crazy thing I was able to do one time a few weeks ago. I was able to turn $10 into $10,000 with this method. I did not share, I did not do anything. I was just risking everything like that. And I had multiple wins like that. So people used to feel like it is not real or it's not, it cannot happen. This is exactly what I'm doing. Again, we're going to be doing this with a real account. I'm going to be showing you how this, we're going to come in live every day like this, and we're going to be doing this with a real account. And this is what we're going to be doing for the program that we're about to start. This exactly like this. So two more trades and we're done for today. Now, what I usually do is I just take two trades in the morning like that. I don't give myself any pressure. Like I just take two trades in the morning and later at night I just take two trades. Right? So it's as simple as that. You don't have to stress yourself.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
I say sorry, sir. This by this countdown now, by each one is how many minutes?
You say what?
This can do. All
This
this countdown now, how
1
many
minute.
minutes?
On the Dare platform, it's 1 minute on here. 1 minute.
All right. Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Then after 1 minute, which one we can go for again? Is it 5 minutes or you can check 5 minutes, 1 hour, have it? Right?
Yes. On this one here, you can check as you can see from here, I'm doing my
Yes, sir.
analysis. It's like 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. That's what I'm doing
Yeah,
my
yeah.
analysis with. And I've won this
Oh,
trade again, as you can see. My balance
yeah,
is
sir. Yeah.
190, it's $168. So I have one more trade to go, 168.
Oh, okay, sir. Thanks, sir.
Yeah. And as you can see, my analysis is so correct. As you can see, the market is just going up. I'd say before the market will actually slow down, it's going to get to around this level and it's actually moving right into that level. So it's a you just really need to understand how the market moves. And when you do, trust me, you become you become ATM, you become working money. Guys, I literally can go see this thing has saved me so many times that I literally could lose everything right today and I'm just going to deposit $10 and I can turn that into something crazy. Trust me. With just this method here that I'm using right here. So let's see. Let me just check again. Let's go down to the I don't like checking too many markets. All right. I don't like doing that. I just like to focus on few that are doing very well, and then it's just four trades I'm looking for in a whole day. Sometimes, guys, let me show you something. Now, if I want to, let's say I deposit $100, for instance, and I don't want to share like this. I don't want to share into, or sometimes I do this. I deposit like $1,000, and this is what I will do, right? I'll just $1,000, and I'm just taking two trades, right? Okay, 19% with two trades, right? That is um 41%. All right. So this one I'll just take two trades per day. That is 41%. I just do that for like maybe 3 days or 4 days. I usually use 4 days. After 4 days, I take out my profits. Um, go again, take out my profits, go again. And then $1,000 for 1%, 4 days. Just two trades per day will give me 2,000 profits. In profit, this is the total equity is going to be 3,900. So in 4 days with $1,000, I'm going to be making 2,950. That's approximately $3,000. I'll take out my $3,000, go again with $1,000 with just two trades. What I just showed you here, two every day for 4 days will give us this. Now you could literally do this with $100 or even $10. Let's say I do this with $100. That is $300 approximately. Approximately. With just two trades. This thing I just did right here, two trades. Now look at this one. It's doing very well or beginning to go down. Let's see 10-1x. We have just one more trade to take. 10-1x. Now look at what I'm seeing on the volatility 50 index. Give us a small dip to the downside as it's beginning to slow down. Let's check it.
Pause.
Hold on.
Please, can I ask a question?
51x. Hold on. I'll give room for your question. No. It's 50 index. Hold on. 50 index. Aha, look at it. I told you it's going to slow down when it gets to that level and it's beginning to slow down. You just need to be able to understand the market like this. So let's go back to our 10-1x. It's beginning to go down. All right, we can actually see an opportunity to trade here. 10-1x, the barrier here. I'm going to give us the value for the barrier. I'm going to change this to minus 0.28. All right. So let's see. My total pay, see, 100% is going to give me $200 with just four trades. $200. Let's see if we can actually take this trade. Trust me, this thing can be crazy, right? You can actually place a trade right now and start going up. So I'm not saying you cannot lose here, and that's why the money management comes in. That's why you need to understand this whole thing properly. And that is why I'm going to be doing this every day. When we start trading next week, probably Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to be trading live with us here, and we're going to be seeing exactly how it works out with real money. We're going to be withdrawing, seeing everything together like this. And again, for the program, we want to deposit into one account, and I will trade it like this. And we want a total equity of $1,000. Again, it's only those in the VIP group that will be able to participate in this program. All right. I've decided that I'm going to be teaching this whole thing for free for everyone. As you can see, I'm not going to enter this trade because it did not give me that push to the downside, right? So you have to, all this strategy is very, very, see, even if this one gives me a good push to the downside, I won't take it because the previous one was not a red, right? I want the previous one has to be a red before I'm going to consider taking this one. It's as simple as that. So go ahead with your question. I thought someone wanted to ask a question.
Yeah. So sorry, I'm um new to dairy trading. I'm mostly into forex.
Okay.
So the last trade you took, I wanted to ask, like, how many pips did it go that you made a profit? Because it was unclear to me.
Okay, that's another thing. Trading on the direct platform, we don't use pips, right? It is very, very straightforward, right? Hold on. Let me
All right.
0.18. So it's a very, very, it's not, um, hold on. Let me see if I can take this trade. Let me take this one trade and then I'm going to explain properly, answer your question properly. Now, again, I trade I trade currency pair too before, but then I just and I let me just tell a quick backstory. I used to trade currency pair, and then one time I lost all my money, all my savings. That was years ago. All my money, I had investors then even, and then I lost a lot of money. And then I had to look for a way to turn small amount size into big amount size. I tried out with currency pair, I tried out with gold. Gold is something that can make you quick money if you have a sniper engine and all that. But then I keep losing money, getting into more debt. And then a student of mine introduced me to Deriv. And then I started checking it out and I started taking out this method. And I was able to raise over 50 million naira trading with this method with a deposit of $100. Trust me, I didn't just make it once. I was withdrawing, stopping at the time and everything. But my initial deposit was $100 and I was able to raise over 50 million naira with that. So trust me, I am not going back to trading any kind of trading. I'm sticking to this place. I'm not religious about trading. I'm very, very open. If I see a better method that can make me real money, trust me, I'm going to get into that. But this one has been proven to be this is the only thing I do. This is the only thing I do. Trading with this method. And it has made me real money. Trust me. Saved me from debt. I've cleared all my debts years ago. Made me so many money and all that. So it doesn't mean that I don't take losses sometimes. Of course, I do take losses. But then when you have
Uh,
proper money management and risk management, look at this. This is a very nice one. When you have proper money management and risk management, okay. Now this one is a very risky one because it's uh I won't be taking this trade because, of course, look at this. There's another block right there, and still think this market needs to give us this. But then I'm going to see how the next candle. Look at that. Look at that. So you need to really understand this. And while I'm trading and
ca-
teaching like this, you'll be able to understand all this thing properly. Go ahead.
can you talk more about the minute, the barrier, and all this? I didn't really understand this.
Okay. Okay. Let me explain this one. Let me explain this properly. All right. Let me try and explain this properly. Now, here, this part here is where I select my assets, the asset I want to trade with. All right. I've Of course, there are so many trading types you can trade with. You can make money with all this, many of all this trade type. But then the one I'm very, very comfortable with is this touch stroke no touch. I used to use this accumulator too. It's a very interesting one, but it's more like gambling and all that. So I don't really like using that a lot. I trade with the rise and fall too. This one I made a lot of money from this one, but it's very risky too, and few others. But the one I use now is the touch stroke no touch because it is very, very interesting. Now, what this means, what this touch stroke no touch means is you have two options. You can either purchase the touch or the no touch. Now, for the touch, look at this thing here. This thing here is what we are looking at. If I put it here and I say touch, I'm saying that the market is going to move up and touch it like this. That's what I'm
Okay.
basically saying. And then look at the return. You are going always going to have return here. The return for touch at where this barrier is here. Now look at the value 2.499. Same here. Now where the mark barrier is here, if I'm saying touch, return is 2,155%. So the chance of winning this is very, very rare. Look at that's why the return is very large. For no touch,
Okay.
of course, it's very unlikely for this to touch. So that's why the barrier for no touch is like 2%. All right. So that does
Mm.
not mean that if I go for no touch now, I'm going to win. It doesn't necessarily mean that. Of course, determinant to whether you win or lose a trade is the direction of the markets. Now, why I usually just put a figure here, there are two ways you can set the barrier. Is either you put the figure here or you drag this. It's still the same thing. Now, the figure I have here is for volatility. Now, I'm targeting for this 2 minutes strategy. Now, there are other strategies, like other duration strategy, like the 1 hour, 5 hours, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. I trade with that sometimes. I don't trade touch for those ones. I trade no touch. Now, for this strategy, the 2 minute duration strategy, I am trading the touch. And then I want to target because of the method I'm trading with, I'm using total equity, I'm compounding, right? I want to take this to as low as possible, right? I want this to be as low as possible. I want this to be close as possible. And then if I can drag this like this to be this close. See, touch 61%. So that means I can still drag this like this. See, 24%. Now, but the lowest it can go, that's why I already write it down. So I don't have to keep dragging like this in case I see a very perfect entry or something like that. So, but the lowest it can go here is for volatility 10. The barrier is going to be 0.18, right? As you can see, it's just
Mm.
the same thing as dragging it to that level. So 0.18 is this close. So as you can see, let me see if I can actually take this straight to the upside on here. Okay, I still think, look at this. It came here like this, touched this, and it's beginning to go up. Now, that's why you need to really understand. See, it's really following everything I'm actually anticipating here to do. And that's it. So let me see if I can actually take a trade here. Let's see. Give me a good
Okay.
push.
That is a hanging man. It's supposed to go up.
Yeah, yeah. But then again, uh, now one thing with this trading method, you can say this thing is going to go up and then you enter this trade. Remember, the duration is 2 minutes. So after 2 minutes, if it does not touch that barrier, you lose the trade. So you can say
Okay.
you can say it's going to go up and it doesn't go up for the next 2 minutes and later it start going up. So you have to be very precise. That's the thing with this. Now, again, I'm still going to be showing us other method where you don't have to be that precise, right? You don't have to, like, you are going to be using longer duration. Okay, let me see. Let me just take this straight. It's not something I'm supposed to take already, but look at this. Let me just take this. I wouldn't take this kind of trade normally. It's too, I wouldn't take this kind of trade. I wouldn't take this kind of trade. No, again, so we are going to be seeing other method where we are going to be using longer duration, like 1 hour or 2 hours or something, and we've won the trade. We've just done 100% right now, guys. We just four trades. We just four trades. We've done 100%. Now, this is exactly how we're going to be doing it. 100%. Day tomorrow now, we're going to turn 200 to 400 with the same method, four trades. Next tomorrow, 400 to 800. Then the day four, 800 to 16. It's as simple as that. Now, all you just need to do is be able to tell what the market will do. And how can you do that? Proper, what I've just been teaching us. No, guys, if you notice, there are just two things I'm using to analyze this market here. market structure, and order block. So you need to understand order block and understand market structure properly, and then you don't have to stress too much. Now, even for the ones for the high duration where you're going to be using 1 hour, 2 hours, days, that's just what you need. You need to understand the concept of order block, um, a little bit of liquidity, um, and market structure. That's just what you need. And then taking 4 trades like this a day. Now, guys, look at this. This is just what we just did. $100, 100%, 4 days. And in 4 days, we'll be able to do this. Guys, you do this consistently and be diligent with this. You get to a level where you can use $1,000. Do the same thing for $1,000. That is $15,000. And you can literally start this with $100. And then you keep moving like that, like that, like that till you get to this level. Guys, I'm not going to tell you that you will get. Guys, it's so funny. No matter how easy this thing looks easy, right? It looks so easy, right? Say God, just like that. Yeah, it's just like that. It looks so easy, guys. Don't get fooled. You could lose a trade here, guys. And losing a trade with this method, it means you like if I use my whole $200 now and I lose one trade, it means I've lost all my equity. All right. Let me show you. I think I have an account here where I lost over $1,000, but then I've actually made a lot of a real good amount of profits, though. Okay, let me show. So it shows you to tell you that even me myself can lose a trade. Now, there are sometimes that the market will just do something unusual, like following your strategy. Of course, you're going to make good profit. And look at this, it's still going up. But then there are some times that the market will do something very, very unusual. Let me see. I think it's this account. Yeah, it's this account. Let me show you. So I would not tell you that it is 100% money. No, of course there is nothing that. Aha! Look at this. Look at this. I lost $200 first. Now I did not follow my strategy here, guys. Let me tell you what happened. Now, one thing with this whole thing is, um, again, you have to be in the right state of mind, guys. I was taking multiple trades. Look at this. Look at this. 2nd of July. I took one, two, three, the fourth one, right? I was taking multiple trades. Look at this. 1st of July. One, two, three, four, five. Five. I was just doing whatever. As you can see. Look at what I this was what I was trying to do. Now, because this account, right? This account is just an account that if I want to, maybe I just funded this account just for I started with $100 actually, and I got to 1,002. And then what I was doing with this account is probably if I just want to get something, maybe I want to buy something, or maybe I don't want to touch money that is in my pocket, right? I don't want to touch any of my money. I was just using that to play around. I was even trading on my device, on my phone with this one. Now look at what I wanted to do here. I wasn't using my total equity. As you can see, I was using $200 and all this kind of stuff. So I lost. Look at what happened here. I lost this $200. Now let me show you what happened. See what happened. I entered the trade very well. The trade was perfect. But look at this. It almost touched. Look at this. This thing even touched. I don't know what happened. And then it started going down. It was so painful. Look at this. I thought I already won. See, when I placed this trade, I thought I already won the trade. But then look at why I did not touch. It was so fucking painful. And then I lost the trade. Now look at what I now did. I used $900. Then I think I had my balance was $1,100. I used $900, right, to place the trade, and I made $179 profits. As you can see, I was able to recover. See, I was able to recover what my loss, but then I still use. As you can see, I still use. That's why you need to have a rule, right? That's no matter how good you are, you need to have a rule. So I used $900. I won. I used $1,008. I won. I used $1,000 again. I won. I just was so angry, and I just keep trading like that. And as you can see, when I made this profit here, I withdrew. As you can see, I was always withdrawing. I was always withdrawing, as you can see. So I was able to recover even more, as you can see, because I understood what I was doing. I was trading on the go. I was with my phone. I wasn't even with my PC. Now look at what now happened here. As you can see, I entered this trade, and then it almost touched here, even at the finish line. Like It was so painful, and I lost this trade. As you can see, I lost this trade. Later, I started going down. This is exactly what I'm telling you. You can say this market is going to. This market eventually was now going down. So I lost before it started going down. And look at what now happened again. Look at this. And I used $1,000 and I lost this one too. See, and eventually it started going down. So your entry has to be precise. Now, this one here is because I did not follow my rule. I'm not supposed to use $1,000 to start trading again. Now, I have an account where I risk everything. I have $2,000 in there. I'm using everything. On that account, I just take 2 trades per day and I don't do anything more than that. But here, this was not me. This was me with no rule, with nothing. And I deposited $50 and I was trying to turn that. I was so pissed. And I was trying to turn my $50 and then look at what happened here again. So you have to be clear-headed, right? You have to be clear-headed. See, almost. It's not as if I was wrong, but then the market will do some crazy shit sometimes. And then all this time I took all these losses, I was trading with my phone. I was not on trading view here. I was just on this one. I was just on the derivative market. I was doing my analysis on here, and there's a you cannot really do a proper analysis. I didn't even check other time frame. I was just on the 1 minute. I was just trading with the 1 minute time frame alone. So that I think that was why I had that loss. All right. So again, I'm not saying it is 100% money, money, money. But okay, before I go there, let me show you how much I actually withdrew from that account. So it's not even a loss for me. But then it was painful because I'm not supposed at this stage, I'm not even supposed to be recording that kind of embarrassing loss. It's because it's embarrassing. Right. So it was very painful for me. That's why I had to, actually stop depositing. And that's why I think I started this group again. Because I just want to get myself distracted and then before I started trading again. As you can see, let's see my withdrawals. As you can see, look at my withdrawals on the account. I started withdrawing on the 28th. So I created this account for this purpose, right? On the 28th, if we calculate all these withdrawals, it's over $1,000, right? Over $1,000, as you can see here. So I've actually made, and with the deposits, I started with how much? $100, right? I started with $100, and here I had over $1,000 withdrawal. So and this is not even the account I started with. I started with one other account, but because I want to have record, I like to have good record like this. Because I wanted to have record, I had to withdraw from that account. I think I deposited when it was at $600 or $700. That was when I deposited. Hey, look at this. Look at my deposits here. So I started with one account before, and because that account is a bit messy, I have a lot of history, withdrawal, deposit history, and all that. And I like my history to be like this: deposits and just one deposit and massive withdrawals. I created this account for this purpose, and then I was trading on there. And as you can see, with the $100 deposit, I started actually with the $100 on the previous account, and then when I got to 700, that was when I deposited here. So as you can see, over 1,000 withdraw, and I've actually even withdrawn from the other account. So I've made over $2,000 from a deposit of $100. So that's on that, guys. So what I'm going to do is tomorrow again, we've taken 4 trades like this again for today. So tomorrow we're going to continue with this account. Tomorrow I'm going to come here and then I'm going to continue with this account. We're going to turn this to 400. Now you can decide to stop and withdraw at any time. Tomorrow, let's say this were to be a real account, I get to 400, I can maybe withdraw $100, my money back, and then continue with that. And then you can continue like that. As you can see, from that my account, I withdraw almost every day. And that's what I do. I withdraw almost every day. I like to take out my money back out. So if anything happens, I am not at loss in any way. So that's what I always do. Right. So even for the program that we're about to start, once we get to, again, it's only going to be for those in the VIP group. So if you want to join and you're not in the VIP group, someone says there's stop loss in there. Of course, you can. No, there is no stop loss, but there are ways you can. When you're doing longer duration, you can actually put stop loss. The 2 minutes is too short for stop loss, and that's the thing. And that's why we have take. You can literally choose how much you want to risk at a given time. All right, so that's just it. So for the VIP group again, for the program we're about to start, we're going to start probably Wednesday, Thursday. But I want us to get to $1,000. We have again. Let me explain this properly. We are funding one account. maybe I'm going to even use this account. So I'm funding one account, and then I'm going to be trading like this. And I've decided I'm going to be trading is live here. Everybody's going to see it. We're going to be trading real account here. So we're going to see exactly what is going on. Just with this method, we have a deposit $1,000. We're going to start with $100. Do the same thing 4 days, 4 trades. We're going to turn that $100 to 1,005, and then we're going to divide by 10 again. Do that again, and then we just want to turn $100 to 10,000, and you're going to see it yourself. All right. So what I've decided is I'm going to be teaching all these things for free. You're going to have to, you're going to get the free knowledge. Again, with time, you're going to understand all this whole thing properly. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk a bit more about market structure before I start trading. And then we're going to talk about order block and all that. So that's how I intend to actually teach you. So for the program, it's only going to be for those in the VIP group. And uh, once we have like $2,000, so whatever you contribute, once we have $2,000 uh profits, once we get to $2,000 profit, I'm going to take out 1,000, and then we are going to get our capital back. That's what I want to do. That's what I always do. I like to get my capital back out. So whatever we put in, of course, we're funding one central account, so I will have to trade it myself. So whatever you put in, let's say you put in $100. I have people that want to put 150, 200, and all that. Whatever you put in, um we are going to trade. I'm going to trade. Once we get to $2,000 profit, I'm going to take out or withdraw $1,000 and then give everybody back whatever you invested. So we're just going to focus on profit. So when we get to $10,000, we're going to share profit according to whatever you put in. All right. And then I'm going to be taking 30% of profit, whatever profit we make. Let's say we get to $10,000, I'm going to be taking $3,000, and then I'm going to share $7,000 amongst those that participate. So if you are interested in joining that, we still have days to go, probably Wednesday or Thursday to join to that we're going to start. You still have opportunity, but then you have to join the VIP group first. $30 to join the VIP group. I know. So I want more people. So I'm probably going to go live on TikTok tomorrow. So I want more people to join us, because now I've decided I'm going to be teaching this whole thing for free. So it's not a bad idea to share with as many people as possible. Again, for me to continue this like this, I'm going to give room for a question, please. For me to continue this, will you post this immediately on YouTube or tomorrow? I'm going to post it immediately. I'm going to post it after this section. Now, again, please, for me to continue this, right? I want engagement, right? In the WhatsApp group, the WhatsApp group is just too. I almost closed down the group, almost, right? So I want engagement in the WhatsApp group. I want to know that I'm actually passing out something real, something important. As you can see, this one is still going up. So this is still a lot of money to be made. But again, you have to be very, very disciplined. This is still going to get to around this level, right? So you have to be very, very disciplined. You don't have to take every trade. All right. So even if I'm seeing good trades like this, I'm just still going to ignore. All right. So again, you have to engage. I'm going to unlock the WhatsApp group. You have to engage in the WhatsApp group for us to continue, right? If I do not see good engagement in the WhatsApp group, trust me, I'm just going to continue with the VIP group, and I'm going to see we have over 100 people in there, and there's just 12 people here. So it's very, very discouraging. So I'm going to take one or two more questions before I end the section.
Yes, yes, boss. You said you wanted to show us more on the touch and no touch. Say there are more ways.
Yes, I'm not again as we progress. We are going to be learning more things. I think I've sent the barrier for this 2 minute strategy in the group, in the WhatsApp group now. I've dropped the barrier. I've screenshot my notes. So by tomorrow, I'm going to be talking more about this. We're going to be trading with longer duration. But of course, we're still going to continue this phase we are doing with the 2 minute strategy. But I'm going to also take some trades with longer duration. We're going to start maybe with 1 hour or the 5 hours, depending, right? You're going to see how I'm going to do it. So we're taking too much time here already. So by tomorrow, we are going to start talking about more. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk more about market structure again, and then we're going to talk about order block and fair value gap and all those things that we actually need to make this one to make the understanding proper. So thank you guys. Any more discussion or questions, you go to the WhatsApp group. I've actually opened the WhatsApp group now. So having said all that, I'm going to be ending this section now. I hope it has been interesting and educative. All right. So thank you for joining. I'm going to upload this section on YouTube. Please and please, once you're watching on YouTube, just do the just like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. I'd really appreciate that. So thank you.